Hello and welcome to Can It Vlog, the game show where we test today's modern cameras and see, can they vlog? Today we're going to be testing the Fuji X-M5 and really putting it through its paces to see if it can vlog the way they say it can. So without further ado, are you ready?
We're ready!
Alright, let's play. Yo, what is going on, good people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the first video of 2025. Hope everyone is doing well out there. As the title and the intro said, we are going to be vlogging with the Fuji X-M5 today. Why? This is touted as a vlogging camera, and so we want to make sure that we can actually take this out, vlog with it, and I thought what better way to do that than to actually vlog with this camera. And y'all let me know if y'all like this style at the end of this video. We're not just going to do any random vlog or anything. I actually am going to test out some of the capabilities of this camera. I'm really going to put it through its paces as far as stabilization. I have the Fuji 10 to 24 millimeter lens on it, which is optically stabilized, and I do have optical stabilization going right now, not digital, but hold on, let me show you something. So I also have the Sigma 10 to 18 right here. It is very similar to the Fuji 10 to 24. It doesn't have as big of a range, but it does have that 10 millimeter on the wide end, and that is perfect for vlogging. Now on the longer end, it only goes to 18, but you know, full frame equivalent, that's about 27, 28 millimeters, which is very similar to something like the Ricoh GR3. But what I like about this lens is that it is so compact. The problem with it is not optically stabilized like the Fuji 10 to 24. And so I want to test that with the stabilization. If I'm walking around with an optically stabilized lens versus a non-optically stabilized lens, is there a big difference? Is there not? What happens when digital image stabilization comes into play with both of these lenses? And yeah, just really want to test it out. But not only that, I'm going to be testing this X-M5 against the DJI Pocket 3. And so I'm excited to test these out, see which of these is the better vlogging camera, or maybe just overall better content creation camera. Just comparing feature for feature and really just seeing what the X-M5 can do against this pretty much champion of the vlogging cameras. So excited to test that out. Also, just some of the rules of engagement for vlogging with this camera. I am going to be shooting 4K, 24 frames per second, shooting in F-Log2. My ISO is literally at 1250 because that's just the native base ISO for F-Log2 on this camera. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be using with it. But with that said, I got some things I need to do here. I am actually waiting on a package that I cannot miss because I am traveling out to LA tomorrow, and so I have to intercept it today. I have a story behind that package, so stay tuned for that. But my day is just getting started, so I need to go get some caffeine in my system. Alright, so while we wait on this package to arrive, I'm actually going to try to be a little productive to kind of set myself up for success with making videos in 2025. I have had this Logitech Creative Console here, these two little things right here. I've had these for the past few months, and I have yet to program anything into these two things. There is another YouTuber, Kofi, he's actually specializing in filmmaking. He actually did a video on how he programmed his Creative Console for DaVinci Resolve, and he also shared his presets file. So hopefully I can load that into mine, and hopefully it works for PC and DaVinci Resolve, but we're gonna go ahead and try to get that done. Alright y'all, so unfortunately the files that Kofi had set up, they didn't really work out for me. I don't know if it's because I have a Windows machine or if I just did something wrong with setting up the software or whatever. So I've just started manually going in and editing some of my DaVinci Resolve settings, and you know, it's actually kind of working out for me. All it took was a little bit of time and patience, and so let me show you real quick. I set up my normal edit mode, my blade edit mode, my trim mode, split clip, ripple cut, and I did the little setting for adding a mark, and I got to continue to program. But you see these here in the software, and then if you look down here, it's right there on the pad. So this should help me to edit a little bit faster. We'll see how long it takes me to get used to it. And yeah, it should be good. Oh, but breaking news, I just got the notification on my phone, so my package is here. I gotta go get it. Y'all, this is crazy. This is here. I did not think it would happen, but it did. So let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy. That's right, I got the Fuji X100VI. Now I know what a lot of y'all are thinking, Bray Graydon bought another Fuji camera, don't you have enough? And you're right, I do have enough. But here's the thing, I got this 100% free. Story time. Back in February when the X100VI was first announced, like a lot of y'all, I pre-ordered and I couldn't get it. I was on the back ordered list. I was on that list and I was just waiting and waiting. And then finally I just got tired of waiting. When the Fuji X-T50 was announced, I went ahead and pre-ordered that and I canceled my order for the X100VI. But here's the thing, the camera store I ordered from, they refunded me, they canceled the order, but lo and behold, one day before Christmas, I got a notification saying that, hey, your Fuji X100VI has shipped. And I thought they were playing. I was like, they have to be playing, y'all. But they were not playing. It is here. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm probably gonna ship it back to the camera store. I don't need the Fuji X100VI. I have the XM5, I got the X-T50, I got my Sony cameras. I do not need the X100VI. But do y'all think I should keep it? Do you think I should just call the camera store, have them charge my card and say, okay, I'm just gonna keep this X100VI? What do y'all think? Y'all let me know. But while we have it here, we can do a quick unboxing if y'all want to. Come on, let's do it. So please forgive the impromptu lighting setup. I am actually using the Fuji X-M5 as my top-down camera right now. So let's go ahead and unbox this X100VI and see what's in here. Get another trial of Capture One. Looks like we got cables, camera strap, battery. X100VI. Side note, I think Fuji should adopt more of these dual stage dials. This is both a shutter speed dial, and then I think you lift it up and then you're able to turn it for your ISO as well. And so I think that's really cool. I think so many people wouldn't have been as upset about the film simulation dial on the X-T50 and XM5 if it was like dual stage, or even like on the X-T5, it has the ISO wheel, but it also has that drive mode ring. So I think Fuji should really normalize just having dual stage dials in order to give them maximum functionality, still have them up there, and really just try to satisfy everybody, you know? So that's the X100VI. I have put it back in its box because, truth be told, I'm probably gonna return it. But you know what? I have made y'all wait long enough. Let's go out and test the XM5 a bit. All right, y'all, so this is me vlogging with the Sigma 10 to 18 millimeter lens. I don't have any type of stabilization going, so this is me with just no stabilization in the camera, but then also no stabilization in the lens. So just walking around with it, how does it look? Just walking. Is it steady? Is it not steady? Is it shaky? Y'all let me know. How is it looking? Also, how is the autofocus on me right now? Right now, I do not have face eye autofocus set. It is just simply just zone focusing. And so how does this look? Am I shaky? Am I not? Y'all let me know. Also, this is the onboard audio with the windscreen. All right, so now this is the Sigma lens, the Sigma 10 to 18 f2.8. This is with digital image stabilization, so no optical stabilization in the lens or the camera, but this is digital stabilization, so this is what you can come to expect. I do not have the stabilization boost mode on just yet, and so I'm just walking with it. Just want to see, how does it look? How do I look here? Am I smooth? Is the footage smooth? Is it wobbly? Y'all let me know. Do you see any jello effect, jitters? Just walking with the camera, the XM5 right now. How are we looking? Also, again, inboard mics, just using the front mics right now pointing at me. I'm kind of backlit right now. How am I looking? I also got the face eye autofocus on. So how's the stabilization? How's the autofocus? How's the audio? All right, y'all. So this is the Fuji 10 to 24 millimeter lens. This is an optically stabilized lens, and so I do have OIS activated. I do not have digital stabilization activated. And then also I have face eye auto detection going on the Fuji XM5. Also, this is the onboard mic. So how do I sound? I got the windscreen on there, so hopefully it is keeping my voice nice and clear as I walk around with this camera. This is me backlit. Is it staying on focused on me? Just want to see, how does this look? How do I sound? Is the footage stable? Y'all let me know. All right, now this is the Fuji 10 to 24 millimeters with optical and digital stabilization applied. So we would just want to see, is the footage stable? Am I looking good? Are there micro jitters? Is there a jello effect to the background? Y'all let me know. How does this look on the Fuji X-M5? And so let me just turn here. Once again, we got our ND filter on there, we got our windscreen for the audio, and we are using the onboard mics. And so how's the stabilization looking? Am I in focus? Also, I got face eye auto detection on, and yeah, y'all let me know. Okay, now this is me using the DJI Pocket 3. I am not using the face tracking right now on this camera, and so I'm just walking, just making sure, seeing if the gimbal stays with me. I'm pretty sure the stability is probably better on this because it does have a built-in gimbal with this camera, and so if I'm turning, see how it's kind of losing me, it's not keeping me in the center, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Once I turn on face tracking, it should be fine. All right, so this is with active track face tracking enabled, and so this is gonna aim to keep me in the center of the DJI Pocket 3. So if I start turning, it's gonna try to stay with me, keep me in the center as it just did. It looks like it did a good job. And yeah, we're just walking with it. Also, I should mention, this is the onboard mics of the DJI Pocket 3. This is if you're not using any type of DJI mic with this camera. And so this is the sound quality you can expect to get from the DJI Pocket 3, just straight out of the camera. All right, and so now I have the DJI mic attached to me, as you can see, hold on. As you can see here. And so how do I sound now? So this is me just walking right now, and I got, hold on, let me get face tracking back on. Got face tracking back on, the audio is going, and how do I sound with the DJI mic on? Now, I will say this DJI mic I can use with basically any camera as long as I have the receiver attached to the camera. With the DJI Pocket 3, it works from Bluetooth, and so I think that's one thing modern cameras, all modern cameras should be adding these days, is just Bluetooth in order to connect with mics. But I can also record directly onto this DJI mic, so in theory, I can record the audio as I'm speaking and then sync it up in post. And so how does this sound? How do I look? Is it all good? Okay, so looking at autofocus here, I have the 10 to 24 set to the 24 millimeter length, and I'm just, just kind of walking towards the camera and just seeing how is the autofocus looking. Is it tracking me? I do have the eye autofocus on. Let me back up a little bit. And yeah, I just want to see, how does it look? Is it good? Is it getting me? Am I in focus? I think I should be in focus, but we're gonna see. I don't know. We're gonna test it out. This is me coming up close, me backing up. I don't want to do a whole bunch of herky jerk movements, just because when you're vlogging naturally, it is like, is that an actual occurrence you're gonna have? You might be walking up to the camera, but you might just be just casually doing things, but in the day in the life. But I don't know. That's just me. I don't know what y'all's uses are for vlogging. I just know all the vloggers I've seen, they're not doing a whole bunch of like herky jerk juke moves like they on an NFL field, and that's just what I've seen. But anyway, am I in focus? How do I look? Am I good? I'll turn my back for a minute. I'm gonna come back in. How we looking? How we looking? Let me get out the frame. Still here, still here, still here, still here. All right, now we're gonna walk back into the frame. How we looking? Are we good? Are we good? Are we not good? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. I mean, I will see this when I start editing, but hey, y'all let me know in the comments. What do y'all think of this autofocus? Is it good enough to your standards? If not, you might need to move to a different camera. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right, so the XM5 compared to the DJI Pocket 3. I'm just gonna say this up front. I think the DJI is a better vlog camera. However, I think the XM5 is a better content creation camera. I think the XM5 ultimately is probably gonna be a little bit more versatile for your needs, but let's just go category by category. Starting with the body and handle and ergonomics, everyday carry. They're both super compact. They both fit nicely in a bag. They're both good for your everyday carry. With the XM5, it's a more traditional camera camera body style, and so if you're used to handling cameras, it will be more natural for you. With the X-M5, it is literally a handle with a camera and gimbal attached, and so the ergonomics are really easy for anyone, regardless of if you handled cameras before or if you have not. And so I do think that the ergonomics, just the overall feel in the hand and ability to hold the camera, is probably better with the Pocket 3 than it is with the X-M5. Now, as far as putting it in a bag, putting it in a pocket, a jacket, I think the Pocket 3 definitely goes better in your pocket. Both of these cameras you can put in a jacket, depending on the lens that you're using on the X-M5. One thing I will say is durability. I feel like the X-M5 is definitely more durable. You don't have to baby it as much when you're transporting it. With the DJI, I have to put a case on it before I put it in a bag, put it in my pocket, because I don't want to damage the gimbal or the screen. Especially if you damage that gimbal on the Pocket 3, you're donezo. The camera is done. You're not using it anymore. You kind of have to baby this a little bit more versus something like the X-M5 where I don't have to baby it as much. The only thing I do is I make sure that the screen is flipped inward. That way nothing gets scratched as I have it in the camera bag. Now, as far as video goes, if you're just going to be holding the camera out in front of you and talking to it like this, even moving with it, I would go for the DJI Pocket 3 if that's the only type of filming you're going to be doing, because it has a built-in gimbal. The stabilization is really good, and it has that active face track, so it always tries to keep you in the center of the frame. Versus something like the X-M5, it does have different stabilization settings, and you can have a stabilized lens in it as well. But the thing is that it doesn't have active track, and the stabilization is not going to be as good as something with an actual gimbal attached to it. And so stabilization, I have to give it to the DJI Pocket 3. Now, autofocus is kind of up in the air. You know, I think the DJI, it has more of a fixed focus to it versus something like the X-M5 where it does have continuous autofocus, single point autofocus, manual focus, and you could even affect the tracking sensitivity. But I think the autofocus worked pretty well on the X-M5. It's not Sony levels or anything, but it's still pretty nice. And so I really enjoyed using this camera for vlogging. If you're doing any type of video beyond just vlogging, like if you're trying to capture B-roll of something else, maybe do a little bit of slow-mo, the DJI Pocket does have 4K 120 versus the full HD 120 and 240 on the X-M5, but they both do 4K 60. You can still get 4K slow-mo out of both of these cameras, and I think the footage looks pretty good. Now, additionally with video, you can do portrait mode on both of these cameras. They just do it a little bit differently. With the DJI, the screen does flip, so you can flip it into portrait mode and you can film that way, but then that brings you down to about 3K for video. With the X-M5, it actually has two ways of doing portrait mode. If you're using the vlog mode, you can do it in time intervals like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, I think 15 seconds, or you just turn it off. But you can also go to the movie mode and set the aspect ratio to 9:16, and that gives you an unlimited time limit, plus it gives you a higher resolution, because I think in vlog mode, the portrait mode is at 1080p, but with the movie mode, if you want to do 9:16, you get higher resolution portrait mode. And in both cases with the X-M5, you will not have to flip the camera. You can keep the camera in its landscape orientation, but it'll just create cropped video for you to use for your portrait video. Now, I'm losing light, so I gotta move fast, but photo, I will give the advantage to the X-M5 because it just has much more photography capabilities. It has the film simulations, it has the really nice dedicated manual controls, manual dials, and it has that bigger screen in order for you to get things framed just how you want it, versus something with the DJI Pocket. Yes, you can take photos, but I don't think the image quality is as good. You can shoot RAW, you can shoot JPEG with it, and so if you wanted to do some editing in post, you can do that on the DJI Pocket. But ultimately, I think the photos coming out of the X-M5 are just gonna look better, especially straight out of camera. So like I said, ultimately, I think that the X-M5 is gonna just be the overall better content creation device, a little bit more versatile both for photo and video, and it gives you some quality of life features with some durability. You get a larger screen, you get onboard mics that are really good, and yeah, I think the X-M5 is just a better content creation device. Now, if you're only gonna do vlogging, just talking straight to the camera, taking it everywhere you go, you're not really care as much about photography, go ahead and get the DJI. Just note that you probably want to get the full combo that comes with the DJI mic, because I think the onboard mics, in my opinion, aren't quite as good as the X-M5. The DJI Pocket is probably around like $600, maybe $700 versus something like the X-M5, which is $800 without a lens, and then $900 if you want to get the kit lens. But I think the price difference is worth it in my personal opinion. But yeah, y'all, that is the video. I tried the little vlogging. How was the vlog? Do you like that style of video? Y'all let me know. Just curious, what are y'all thoughts? Drop them down in the comments. Just let me know anything about which lens do you think is better? How's the stabilization? How's the autofocus on the X-M5? How did it look next to the DJI Pocket 3? Should I keep the Fuji X100VI? Y'all let me know about that for sure. If you like this video, go ahead and drop it a like. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to stay informed on future content. And until next time, y'all, I will catch y'all later.